Hello, everyone. This is Southern Belle Whisper. I hope you all are doing well today. I've missed you guys this week. I really have. I gave myself a little bit of a break this week because on March 10th, how many ever days that was ago, it had been 4 years since a good friend of mine passed away. And then it was also my cat, or she was my cat, turned 11 years old, my Maine Coon, Patty Cake. If you're a new subscriber and you want to look back on all the older videos when I was with my ex, I know I made a video with her. She was my Maine Coon. Actually, she was my mother's Maine Coon. And when I separated from my ex, he refused to give her up. So every March 10th, it's rough for me. But after March 10th this week, it just seemed like the sun came out and everything was happy and joyful again. Literally, because it started getting warmer outside about 3 days ago. You guys, winter depression is real. It's real, especially when you don't have a job. I got on the Shining, Jack from The Shining. That's how I felt. I really found out what cabin fever feels like this winter. So, but I'm doing better, thank God. So this is going to be a weekly update because this has been one of the best weeks that I've had in a while. I'm going to be talking to you guys about an author that I have become obsessed with. I'm going to talk to you about church a little bit, and then we are going to talk about a video request that my niece Selena requested from me. So if you would like to know what my next video is going to be, stick around to the end of this video. So, but first, let's talk about the author that I have become obsessed with. And then also, I'm going to show you one of my favorite purchases, book-wise. I had to have this book in my collection. I've only read it once, but I can read it so many more times. So, the author that I've become obsessed with is Jimenez. I was at the library. As you can see, it has a little library scanny thingy, filling out applications because my mother has become stronger and she doesn't need me here as much. So I've been job searching, and I was on the computer and I looked up and there was a shelf right in front of me, and I just noticed it. I was like, Jimenez. I've heard so much about her, especially through my Reese Witherspoon book club fan page. A lot of people talk about her, but I just recently picked up a book of hers. This is my second 5-star read of 2025. Let me tell you, you guys, when I picked up this book, I thought it was going to be the usual, rich girl meets country guy. They're different. Her parents don't approve. Just all the predictable stuff. That is what I really was expecting. Hold on, I'll be right back. But yes, that is what I really was expecting when I checked this book out. But let's read the blurb first. After a wild bet, gourmet grilled cheese sandwich, and a cuddle with a baby goat, Alexis Montgomery has had her world turned upside down. The cause, Daniel Grant, a ridiculously hot carpenter who's 10 years younger than she is, and as casual as they come, the complete opposite of sophisticated city girl Alexis, and yet their chemistry is undeniable. While her ultra-wealthy parents want her to carry on the family legacy of world-renowned surgeons, Alexis doesn't need glory or fame. She's fine with being a mere ER doctor. In every minute she spends with Daniel in the tight-knit town where he lives, she's discovering just what's really important. Yet letting their relationship become anything more than a short-term fling would mean turning her back on her family and giving up the opportunity to help thousands of people. Bringing Daniel into her world is impossible, and yet she can't just give up the joy she's found with him either. With so many differences between them, how can Alexis possibly choose between her world and his? What I love about Abby's writing is she dives into mental health issues, and I love that. There's a dog in this book, his dog, Daniel's dog, whose name is Hunter, who's deaf. I'm trying to think of what else. But I love that about this book. It is spicy in places. I'd give it like a 6 or 7 on the spice scale. Just in case you don't like spice. There is quite a bit of spice in this book. But it's so much more than that. It is nothing like Punk 57, okay? Like, I love Punk 57 too, but this was a rom-com like no other. It reminded me a lot of The Idea of You with Anne Hathaway and Nicholas Scout Design. A lot, but better. Much better. It was ridiculously funny. It was heartwarming. It was romantic. It had me giggling, kicking my feet at times. Happy, joyful. Just wonderful book. I cannot recommend this rom-com enough, you guys. And I know it looks like a challenge, but I read it in 2 days. So definitely recommend this one. And I'm reading the second one in the series. Oh, that was excuse me. Sorry, part of your world. Part of your world. Great book. And I got the second one, thank God. I'm about yay far in this one, so almost halfway. And the blurb is, Dr. Brianna Ortez's life is seriously flatlining. Her divorce is just about finalized. Her brother's running out of time to find a kidney donor. And that promotion she wants, oh, that's probably going to the new man doctor, who's already registering 80 freaking 7 on Brianna's pain in my ass scale. But just when all systems are set to hate, Dr. Jacob Maddox completely flips the game by sending Brianna a letter. And it's a really good letter. Like the kind that proves that Jacob isn't actually Satan. Worse, he might be this fantastically funny and likable guy who's terrible at first impressions. Because suddenly, he and Bree are exchanging letters, sharing lunch dates in her sob closet, and discussing the merits of freakishly tiny horses. But when Jacob decides to give Brianna the best gift imaginable, a kidney for her brother, she wonders just how she can resist this quietly sexy new doctor, especially when he calls in a favor she can't refuse. So I've just gotten to the point where they've talked about this little thing they got going on. I don't want to give spoilers. And I don't think it's as good as the first one. I'd still give it a 4-star because it is highly enjoyable and funny. Brianna was actually my favorite character in the first one, so I can't wait to see what kind of happily ever after she gets. He also has a dog in this book. Jacob does. And what is the dog's name? Oh my gosh. Lieutenant Dan. Because his dog is three-legged, so he named him Lieutenant Dan. I think that's the cutest thing ever. But I'm really enjoying this one as well. And then a book that I purchased. Let me describe this book as: if police came into my house and they said I had to burn every book that I own, but take one book with me, this would be the book. And that says a lot, you guys. This was my favorite book of 2023, and that is Demon Copperhead by Barbara Barbara Kingsolver. Sorry. This book is one of the best books I've ever read in my whole life. It's very intense at places. It's very triggering at places. Like, I'd say 16 plus on this book, because it is quite intense. Demon Copperhead is the story of a boy born to a teenage single mother in a single-wide trailer with no assets beyond his dead father's good looks and copper-colored hair, a caustic wit, and a fierce talent for survival, and a plot that never pauses for breath. Relayed in his own uninspiring voice, Demon braves the modern perils of foster care, child labor, derelict schools, athletic success, addiction, disastrous loves, and crushing losses. Through it all, he reckons with his own invisibility in a popular culture where even the superheroes have abandoned royal people in favor of cities. Many generations ago, Charles Dickens wrote David Copperfield from his experience as a survivor of institutional poverty and its damages to children in his society. Those problems have yet to be solved in ours. Dickens is not a prerequisite for readers of this novel, but he provides its inspiration. In transposing his epic novel to our own place and time, Kingsolver has enlisted his anger and compassion, and above all, his faith in transformative powers of a good story. Demon Copperhead speaks for a new generation of lost boys, and all those born into beautiful, cursed places they can't imagine leaving behind. Sorry. Oh, this book, you guys. This book changed my life. I think it was one of the last ones I read when I was still with my ex, and it changed my life. It's very long. It's, how many pages is this? Like almost 600 pages. And it's full of loss and addiction and laughter and wholesomeness and pureness, and it's just an amazing book, you guys. I've only read it once, but I plan to read it again. Absolutely amazing book. Absolutely amazing. Demon Copperhead. Winner of the Pulitzer Prize. Good. A New York Times bestseller. I love this edition of the book too. Amazing, amazing book, you guys. So, let's talk about church a little bit. First, I'm going to talk about David, because I know some of you are, like me, talking about him and telling you guys, how it's going so far. I'm still not ballsy, you guys. Like, it's so obvious to other people that how I feel about him, except for him, pretty much. But last night when we went to church, I had an amazing day yesterday, and we're going to get into that, by the way. So I went to church just feeling so good, like full of just happiness and joyfulness. But when he wasn't there, I thought he wasn't coming, and I was worried because I knew he'd been dealing with some stuff, and I was like, man, is he not going to come? Because it's not like him not to show up on a Sunday or a Wednesday. And he finally came in, and I realized he had nowhere to sit except for beside me. So I was like, yeah, come on in. He was like, hey, how you doing? And I swear you could have cut the tension with a knife. Like, it was so awkward. Like, because people have been saying how obvious it is on my face, how I feel about him. Like, I'm so afraid that if I look him in the eye, that he'll be able to tell how I feel. Like it hasn't already gotten back to him, because I've been very vocal about the way I feel to other people, a few people, in which that's stupidity on my part. The only person I can't tell is him. But the pastor talked about it is well with my soul, right? And this whole line of people went up to the front after the service, and my pastor gave them his mic, and they just declared in the name of the Lord, whether it was my son that's sick, my daughter that doesn't believe in God, my grandchildren who I don't get to see, and I declare in the name of the Lord that it is well with my soul. And I didn't go up there because I get very nervous in front of crowds. But David did. And when he got to the mic, he said, I just want to declare in Jesus' name that some of my family members will start coming to church with me. I declare in Jesus' name that my uncle be healed. He said that he hadn't been feeling well. But the third thing he said broke my heart. And that is, I declare in Jesus' name that I will not die alone. You guys, that broke my heart so bad. It broke my heart when he said that. Because, of course, none of us want to die alone. It's just human nature to not want to die alone. And I don't even think he meant in a relationship-wise. I think he meant family-wise. I think he meant anybody-wise. That he... Hold on, I'll be right back. I just thought it was really brave of him. Heartbreaking but brave for him to be so honest. So I went up there after he did because I was like, if he can do it, I can do it. So I said, I declare in Jesus' name. I said, talked about my mom, how my dad had her bedbound for almost a month, and how I had to quit my job, and now she's walking with a walker, and I said, it's all because of Jesus. And I said, because of Jesus, it is well with my soul. And everybody cheered and everything. I love that church, you guys. But I went home thinking, what is wrong with me? What do I look like? If I could just have 1 second to see myself through his eyes, what is wrong with me? I don't think he knows how I feel. I don't think anybody's told him. But I don't know. I don't know, you guys. I'm scared. But our Easter choir is coming up. I signed up for Easter choir this year, and we both signed up. I remember when he signed up, I was like, okay, can we just scratch my name off the list? Because I didn't want him to hear me sing. I was shy. But, so we're both going to be in the Easter choir this year. So, I don't know. I don't have a lot to tell you guys, other than where we've been stuck at in this valley of me being afraid of rejection, him feeling like he's alone, that he can't find anybody, and me being afraid to tell him if it was his choice, he would have somebody. Yeah, but it's okay though, because I found something better than that, and I want to talk to you guys about it. About 2 months ago, I'd say, about 2 months ago, I got a friend request from somebody from my church named, he wants to go by Jay, because I told him about my channel. And I said, what would you like your name to be? He said, Jay. So we will call him Jay. But he added me on Facebook. But I think what really broke the ice with me and him was when he posted a live video a couple weeks ago, in which he has since deleted, where he just looked like the world was just beating him down. And just, it was heartbreaking. It was heartbreaking to me, especially being an empath. You know, and I know how it feels to feel like the world is against you. So I sent him this big message about how, you know, that I would always be a friend to him, that, you know, he could come to me anytime he needed somebody to talk to. And so when we started seeing each other in church, we started, you know, hugging and saying, hi, how you doing? He's very smiley. He's like me. Like, smiles say everything about a person, you guys. And he has like that smiley, you know, just really beautiful smile. But recently, when I just thought I was going to lose my mind, being stuck in the house, trying to find a job, I posted that I couldn't wait to get on the walking trail this year. Because if you guys remember, if you are old school old school subscribers, I had MRSA last year, so I couldn't walk. So this was going to be the first year that I've ever been on the trail in 20 years. And I was like, I can't wait to see the trestle. I haven't seen the trestle in 20 years. If you don't know what a trestle is, it's where train tracks used to be, but they've made it into a bridge over the river. And I just couldn't wait to get on the trail. But my parents have been like, Kelly Bears, you know, either go with somebody or take a weapon. But something told me to just post about it. Just say, hey, I can't wait to get on the trail this year. I didn't even say if anybody would like to go, comment or anything like that. I just said, I can't wait to go. And Jay commented. He said, if you need a walking buddy, let me know. And I was like, oh my gosh, I would love that. So yesterday, and let me just say, my parents watch true crime videos all the time. And knowing that this would be the first time I was hanging out with Jay, they were like, maybe you should take something with you, like a knife or something, you know. And I was like, you guys are so paranoid. But I still packed a knife in my bag just to suffice them. You know, I was like, here's a knife. Okay, I'm putting it in my bag. Because me and Jay had never hung out outside church. And they were, my poor parents, they just think the worst all the time. They think the worst. But right before, we had planned to meet at 1 o'clock and go walking on the trail. And he said, would you like me to pick you up? I know where you live. And I was like, okay, where's that knife at that I was supposed to pack in my bag? I was like, how does he know where I live? But I'll tell you guys about that in a second. But I was like, sure. I said, that'd be great. So he picked me up and we went to a trail. And you guys, I had nothing to worry about. Not one thing. It was like we hadn't talked that much. Not really. But he calls it immaculate. Is that what it's called? Immaculate vibes. AMMACULATE vibes. That's what he calls it. I said, how is it that I can be so uncomfortable with someone I have a crush on, but be so comfortable with you and feel like I've known you my whole life? I said, how is that? And I can show you guys in my journal where I've said, I know that I've been like a horn dog where it comes to David, because you can see in my journal where I'm like, David this and David that. But I got to the point where I was like, God, just send me a friend. Because my best friend Danielle, she's going through some stuff and she gets really secluded into herself when she goes through stuff. So I haven't heard from her that much. My best friend Alexis, we talk every day, but she's more of an extrovert. I'm more like an introvert. But I was just hoping and praying for a friend that I could relate to, you know, that I could talk to and be comfortable with and be deep with. And it was 2 miles that we walked. It was a mile there and back. And he'd never been on that trail before. I was so excited to show him. But we talked about anything and everything, pretty much. Like, I got so comfortable with him that I was just like word vomit. Like, I was telling him everything. And then he told me, he said, I'm very observant. He said, I remember you posting a picture of your house about a month ago. And hold on, I'll be right back. He said, I remember you posting a picture of your house about a month ago, and you live about 2 minutes from my mom's house, so she recognized it too. And then he had tagged me in a Harry Potter post, somebody selling wax warmers right before we went walking, and I was like, how did you know I was a Potterhead? He said, well, a few weeks ago you wore that watch around your neck, the watch necklace, Harry Potter necklace around your neck. I said, you are very observant. I said, I wish I had that good of a memory. But he has a really good memory. He's like one of those where it's like he can tell you a memory from when he was like 2 years old. And I've never been that way. I don't know why, but I've always had a horrible memory. But he is very observant and has a very good memory. So I was like, that is so cool that he like puts certain facts about people he cares about so he doesn't forget them. I think that's awesome. But you guys, it was like a breath of fresh air yesterday. Like, I wasn't uncomfortable at all. He is ridiculously funny. Oh my gosh, so funny. And I even mentioned to him, I said, you remind me so much of a friend I had when I was 13, Adam. He was like, oh yeah, I went to school with Adam, and apparently he teaches English to Japanese kids in Japan now. I was like, oh my gosh, it's so amazing, because I remember when Adam was obsessed with Japan, even when we were 13. So that was awesome learning that, because when I first moved here, I tried to get in touch with Adam because he was just such an awesome person to hang around with. And that's a lot like Jay is. He was like, you know, you don't know awesome until you go to a restaurant by yourself, or you take yourself on a road trip. He said, you don't know awesome until you do something like that. And I said, I've never really thought of it that way. Like, I've always felt like I've had to have someone to go with me. And he was like, no. He said, I love doing things by myself. But oh my gosh, you guys. Like, God really blessed me sevenfold too, or tenfold, however you say it, with Jay. Like, he is just something else. Wow. You know, you don't meet that many people in your life, like with Paula, that are just wholesome and pure and just as broken as you are at times. You know, it's just a great feeling. I was laughing the whole time yesterday. Like, he had me in stitches. Like, I was just like, thank God for this. Like, I needed this. I needed it like water in the desert type of feeling. Like, whew. It was awesome. Awesome day yesterday, you guys. And I told him about David. He was like, oh yeah, we went to school together and he's a really great guy. And I said, yeah. He said, well, would you like me to invite him next time we go walking? You know, since we're all 34 years old. Me, Jay, and David are all 34 years old and we're all single. So he was like, would you like me to invite him on one of our walks one day? And I was like, maybe. I'll let you know. I'm still iffy on it, you know. I swear the traffic has been awful today. I swear. But I just wanted to tell you guys about that because I literally prayed to God for a friend. Someone I could relate to. And that's how it happens. That's how it happens. He had a little sticker in his car. I told him, I said, I'm very observant and I have kind of a good memory. I said, don't test me on movie quotes because you'll lose. I said, any movie facts. He said, I thought you had a bad memory. He said, if you remember certain movie facts, then you have a good memory. I said, well, when it comes to movie facts and quotes, I can test you on it and you'll lose. But when we got back in this car after walking, oh, you guys, my legs were hurting so bad because that's the first time I'd walked, you know, a mile or two. I'm not used to walking that far. But when I got in his car, you know that little potato guy meme with the buck teeth? It said, warning, passenger, why you no pay for gas? And I pointed out to him, I said, I love that. I think that's hilarious. And he said, you know, you are literally the third person that's noticed that. He said it was an experiment. He said, you're literally like the third person that's noticed that. I said, yeah, I guess I am kind of observant. And then when I was getting out of the car, I said, so do you have a Cash App so I can send you the gas money? He said, shut up, get out of my car. It's just great. Just great. It just proves to me, you guys, I don't need to be in a relationship, especially not right now, when, you know, I'm still technically married. It just proved to me that all I needed was friendship from someone that knows how it feels about everything. Faith, loneliness, you know, feeling like the world is on your shoulders. Like, I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. And I did tell him about my channel. I said, you're the only one from church that knows about this channel, so please don't tell nobody. Okay, so now we're going to talk about the video request that my niece sent me. If you guys remember, especially with DVDs, there used to be these awesome games that you could play in the special features. And she asked me the other day, she said, did you ever play those games on those Disney DVDs back in the day? And I said, yes, Beauty and the Beast used to be my favorite. So she sent me everything that I need to make a video where I'm playing those games for you guys. She said, if I send you everything that you need for that video, will you please make a video playing those games? I said, of course. So she sent me, it's still coming, Lion King 1.5, Shrek, and Beauty and the Beast. And brand new too. This is my second favorite Disney movie. Me and Jay were actually talking about this movie yesterday. I think we were talking about if we ever came into a lot of money. I said, as long as I had a house that had a library, like in Beauty and the Beast. He said that would have to be a huge house. I was like, yeah, true. And that was a lot of books. like, could you imagine? But this one has all the fun games that I used to play when I was younger. I had this on DVD, and I would play the games all the time, and they're actually pretty tough. She actually gave me a code that I need to get through the game. If you guys remember, it was like bowling balls coming down the stairs, and you had to go like left or right to miss being hit by the bowling balls. Like, I remember that. That's like a core memory. I love Beauty and the Beast, you guys. I just love that she supports my channel so much. She is one of my biggest supporters of my channel in my life. And I think since I moved here and I don't live a mile away from her anymore, I think my videos bring comfort to her. She says, I love your videos. I don't know if I don't think she has ASMR, but she says she watches them for comfort. So that is something to be looking forward to very soon, either tomorrow or the next day, is me playing these games on these Disney movies. They don't make movies like this anymore, you guys. Let me just say, I recorded this video earlier, and I realized I had to record it again because I realized I had sideburns. I mean, not really big like Colin Bridgerton sideburns, but like just a little bit. I was like, and I had this shirt on in that video, but I changed it. But I'm going to show it to you guys because this will always be a favorite shirt of mine. She said, I sent you something special with the Beauty and the Beast DVD. It's a dark blue navy shirt, and it says, for beauty is found within. This actually might be my next tattoo because I love it. It signifies so much for me. I love this shirt, you guys. It is a 2X. I'm not quite at a 2X yet, but I will work my tail off. Me and Jay have already agreed that if we're both off on Wednesdays, that we should turn our little walking escapades into like a weekly thing. So I'm going to work my tail off to fit into this shirt because it looks wonderful in the front. Like, it makes my chest look amazing. But where I still have back fat, it's kind of tight in the back. And she said, I'm sorry. I said, no. I said, don't be sorry. I said, this is one of the most precious gifts I've ever gotten in my life. I don't have that many people in my life that care that much. And it will fit me. It will. What I'm going to end up doing is when I get to a certain weight, I'm going to do like you know how some of those girls do like get their pictures taken. That's what I'm going to do with this shirt. And have it to where I'm sitting in a library reading or whatever. Maybe like a divorce photo. Get my photos taken. And somewhere I'm wearing like a dress. Maybe a dress that looks like Belle's in the movie. And wear this shirt. Like, she doesn't know I will cherish this shirt forever. Like, I've got bags of chips over here that I got for when I get the munchies that look disgusting to me now. Such a beautiful shirt. I love it. But that isn't the only thing she sent me. She also sent me a DVD player. I told her, I said, I don't have a DVD player, but I have a portable DVD player. She said, nuh-uh. She said, I'll send you a DVD player. And it's so cute. It's right here, if you guys can see it. I got it set up. I'm actually probably going to watch a movie after this video to see how it works. I mean, my niece, even though she's my niece, has always been like a sister to me. We're only 7 years apart. And she's always been like the sister that I always prayed for. Like when I was younger, I would ask my parents. I know some of us have probably have had those moments in our lives where we begged our parents for a sibling. And I begged my parents, I'd be like, please give me a baby sister. And then when my niece was born, it was like it all clicked. She's my niece, but she's like a sister to me. So, you guys get to look forward to that. I still need to figure out how I'm going to face my phone and everything because I'm going to be playing on this TV right here. So if you guys have any suggestions, please leave them in the comments. But anyways, you guys, so that was my week. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll be talking to you soon. Love you guys. Bye-bye.